Did you know that 99% of deaths after the age of 75 stem from just a few main causes, and most of them are completely preventable? Many people believe that passing away in old age is simply natural, that it's just time. But the truth is, most deaths after 75 aren't caused by age itself. They're the result of silent risks that have been overlooked for years. I used to think the same way, until I saw friends around me slowly fall into serious health problems, not because they were too old, but because they had no idea what was really happening inside their bodies. And by the time they realized it, it was too late. As we grow older, our choices shrink. But if we understand the most common risks early on, we can completely shift the path of our health and extend our life far beyond what we thought possible. In this video, I'll share with you the 6 leading causes of death for people over the age of 75, the hidden killers that silently steal away health and independence from millions every year. Some of these may sound familiar, others might surprise you. But here's the key: they're all manageable. These aren't just cold statistics. Each number represents a father, a mother, a friend. People who were once healthy, who believed they would age naturally, not realizing that a few small changes could have helped them live longer, healthier, and with more control over their own lives. That's why I hope you'll watch until the end. Because the earlier you know, the more lives you can save, starting with your own. Those who understand this don't just reduce their risk of disease, they also maintain independence, mental clarity, and a far higher quality of life than most others their age. We can't change our age, but we can change the way we live. And the decisions you make today might just determine how long you stay active, independent, and able to truly enjoy your life. So let's begin and get ready to learn the things you'll wish you had known sooner. Number 1. Heart disease. Cardiovascular disease remains the leading cause of death in people over the age of 75. And what's truly unfortunate is how many people don't realize just how much control they actually have over it. I remember my roommate from last year, Mr. Raymond, 79 years old. He didn't smoke, didn't drink, and looked relatively healthy. But one morning, while reading the newspaper, he collapsed. By the time the ambulance arrived, it was too late. Everyone was shocked. But he looked fine, someone said. But the heart doesn't always give warnings. It suffers silently until it simply can't anymore. The truth is, your heart is a muscle. And like any other muscle, it either gets stronger through regular use or weaker from neglect. The problem is, when it weakens, you don't always feel it. Fatigue, shortness of breath, reluctance to move, many chalk it up to just getting old. But sometimes it's actually your heart quietly crying for help. One of the most dangerous yet silent culprits is high blood pressure. It forces the heart to pump harder through stiff, narrowing arteries. And the scariest part? You might not feel a thing until a stroke or heart attack hits. And by then, it's too late. Diet is another silent contributor. Decades of eating processed foods, high in salt and low in fiber, wear down your blood vessels, clog your arteries with fat, and hinder blood flow. But what many people don't realize is, protecting your heart isn't just about avoiding the bad. It's about nourishing it with the good. Leafy greens, fatty fish, whole grains, berries, these seemingly simple foods are nature's medicine for the heart. And then there's movement. No one's asking you to run marathons or bike miles every day, but sitting still all day is a silent sentence against your cardiovascular health. Even a simple daily walk, stretching, or following a light workout video can keep your heart from falling asleep. Many think heart disease is fate. My dad died of it, I probably will too. But no, it's not about genetics. It's about habits. What you do or don't do every day will determine how long and how well your heart keeps going. If you remember one thing from this, let it be this: you have far more control over your heart health than you think. And the best time to start protecting your heart is right now. Number 2. Falls and injuries. One of the greatest dangers that few people pay attention to in old age isn't cancer, diabetes, or high blood pressure. It's a fall. It may sound simple, but the truth is, it can be a turning point that changes the rest of your life. Just one moment of carelessness, a slip on a damp floor, an overreach for something just out of reach, and everything may never be the same again. A fractured hip, a head injury, or even what seems like a harmless bruise can lead to months in bed, complications, infections, and the total loss of independence. I once met an elderly man named Thomas, 84 years old. He used to take care of himself, went for walks around the senior home every morning, and always wore a cheerful smile. But after slipping in the bathroom, he was bedridden for months. From an active, lively person, he became quiet, mentally withdrawn, and completely dependent on others. His story is far from rare. Every year, millions of elderly people are hospitalized due to falls, and sadly, many never recover as they once were. The cause isn't just the fall itself, it's the lack of preparation. As we age, our muscles weaken, reflexes slow down, vision fades, and balance becomes fragile. But we often don't notice these changes because they happen gradually. You may feel like you're still fine, walking around the house as usual, until one day you bend over or twist in the wrong way, and gravity does the rest. Worse still is the fear. After a near fall, many people start avoiding movement. They stop going for walks, avoid stepping outside, dread using stairs. But the less you move, the weaker your body becomes. Muscles shrink, balance deteriorates, and the risk of falling increases. It's a harsh cycle that slowly takes away the independence you once had. The good news is, falls are not inevitable. In fact, with a few simple changes and some consistency, you can maintain a safe, active, and independent life. Gentle daily exercise, even seated movements that strengthen your legs and core, can make a huge difference. Simple things like walking slowly, practicing balance, or mindful breathing can help you gain better control over your body. Improving your living space by removing obstacles, installing grab bars in bathrooms and staircases, and keeping the lights on at night is extremely important. And don't overlook something often forgotten: medications. Many cause dizziness, drowsiness, or slight drops in blood pressure. If you've ever stood up too quickly and felt lightheaded, talk to your doctor about adjusting your prescriptions. In the end, a fall is not a trivial thing. It might be the reason you can no longer use the toilet by yourself, make a cup of tea, or feel safe stepping outside your door. But if you start caring for your body today, listen to the warning signs, and create a safe living environment, you can continue to live freely, confidently, and independently for many more years. Don't wait until you fall to be afraid. Don't let one careless moment take away the rest of your life. Make protecting your balance, stability, and strength a core part of aging well. Because sometimes, a fall doesn't just hurt, it makes you lose a piece of yourself. And the choice to live strong is entirely yours to make. If you're still watching and have found these insights helpful, please leave a comment with the number 2 below so I know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos where we'll continue learning together, taking care of our health, and living more fully every single day. Your support is a huge motivation for us to keep creating meaningful, practical, and inspiring content. Now, let's keep going. Number 3, respiratory diseases. Breathing is something we take for granted until it becomes difficult. I once sat next to Mrs. Eleanor in the common room of the nursing home. She had a persistent dry cough and needed to pause to catch her breath with every step. Most people around her assumed it was just a normal sign of aging. But one morning, she was rushed to the hospital for respiratory failure. The doctors diagnosed her with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, a condition that affects many older adults without them even knowing it. The truth is, as we age, our lungs no longer function as efficiently. Their ability to exchange gases, clear mucus, and fight off bacteria gradually weakens. What's alarming is that the warning signs are often overlooked. Persistent coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, these are all seen as just part of getting old. But in reality, they're clear signals that your lungs are calling out for help. One of the most dangerous threats is pneumonia. In younger people, it may be just a temporary infection, but for those over 75, it can lead to hospitalization or worse. The immune system weakens with age, making it much harder to fight off viruses and bacteria. In many cases, what starts as a mild cold quickly escalates into a serious lung complication within days. Beyond illness, the air quality around us plays a huge role. Indoors, things like fine dust, pet dander, mold, or gas from the stove can silently harm lung function, especially for those with asthma or a history of COPD. Improving ventilation, using air purifiers, and avoiding cigarette smoke are simple yet powerful ways to protect your lungs. Few people realize that lungs need exercise, just like muscles. When we move, even with light walking or deep breathing, our lungs expand, function better, and flush out excess mucus. But if we sit still too much and remain inactive, the lungs gradually weaken, making us more vulnerable to infections and slower to recover from illness. That's why even gentle physical activity can do wonders for an older adult's respiratory health. And let's not forget the vital role of vaccinations. Getting vaccinated against the flu, pneumonia, and other respiratory infections can significantly reduce the risk of serious complications. Many seniors underestimate the importance of vaccines, thinking, "I'm old, it's okay if I get sick." But in fact, they are the ones who need protection the most. Breathing is something we do every moment of every day. But if we don't pay attention, the day may come when even a simple breath becomes a struggle. Don't wait until your lungs send out a distress call. Protect them now with simple daily habits: light movement, clean air, staying alert to unusual symptoms, and keeping up with vaccinations. Taking care of your lungs is also taking care of your health, your independence, and your future. Number 4, stroke. I still remember the first time I heard about Mrs. Linda. A 78-year-old woman who lived independently, was in good health, drove herself to the market, and tended her flower garden every morning. Everything seemed perfectly normal until one afternoon while making tea, her hand suddenly trembled and the cup slipped to the floor. By the time her son arrived, she could no longer speak clearly. She had suffered a stroke, an unexpected event that changed her entire life within minutes. Stroke is one of the leading causes of death after age 75. But what many people don't know is that up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. That means the choices you make today, your diet, activity level, and health monitoring, can determine whether you continue to live independently or end up relying on others for the rest of your life. A stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is blocked, or when a blood vessel bursts, causing brain cells to begin dying within minutes due to lack of oxygen. Some strokes are minor, causing brief confusion or weakness, but others leave lasting damage: paralysis, loss of speech, or permanent loss of body control. One of the biggest risk factors is high blood pressure. Over time, it weakens blood vessels, making them more prone to rupture or blockage. The problem is, you don't feel it. No pain, no clear warnings. That's why so many people only realize they're at risk when it's already too late. Another major risk factor is irregular heartbeat, especially atrial fibrillation. Many older adults have atrial fibrillation without knowing it. When the heart doesn't beat properly, blood can pool and form clots. If one of these clots travels to the brain, it can cause a stroke in an instant. The good news is that all these risks can be detected through simple routine checkups. Taking the right medications and maintaining a healthy lifestyle can significantly lower your chances of having a stroke. Diet plays a crucial role as well. Eating too much salt, processed food, and saturated fat all contribute to the risk. On the other hand, incorporating leafy greens, drinking enough water, reducing sodium, and staying physically active every day helps protect your blood vessels and improve circulation. One commonly overlooked warning sign is a mini stroke, known as a TIA, a transient ischemic attack. If you've ever had blurry vision, slurred speech, or facial numbness that disappeared after a few minutes, don't ignore it. That's a clear warning sign, a critical opportunity to prevent a much more serious stroke from occurring. The most important message is this: you can take control and prevent a stroke. Monitor your blood pressure regularly, eat well, stay active, and listen to your body. The sooner you act, the more power you have to protect yourself from devastating consequences and preserve your independence and quality of life. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, drop a number 4 in the comments below to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support truly helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now, let's keep going. Number 5, cognitive decline and related complications. One of the most heartbreaking realities of aging is the gradual decline of memory, cognitive ability, and independence. What's frightening is that this process doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in quietly, beginning with small, often overlooked changes. Forgetting someone's name, getting lost on a familiar route, or struggling to follow a simple conversation, these minor incidents can eventually lead to much bigger consequences. Losing the ability to manage daily life, not recognizing loved ones, or being unable to make sound decisions for yourself. Diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia don't just attack the brain, they impact physical health as well. When the brain can no longer manage daily routines, older adults may forget to take medication, skip meals, or fail to notice signs of illness or dehydration. Irregular eating habits can lead to weight gain or malnutrition, making room for other serious health problems. Another major risk is accidents. Forgetting to turn off the stove, leaving doors open at night, or wandering away from home. These seemingly small moments can result in life-threatening situations. Sadly, many people don't realize they're losing cognitive function until the condition has advanced. Early signs like forgetting simple words, losing focus, or misplacing objects are often brushed off as just getting old. But these are clear warning signs from the brain, and the sooner we recognize them, the more we can do to slow the decline. The good news is that we can protect our brain with surprisingly simple habits. Just as the body needs exercise, the brain needs daily stimulation. Reading, learning new skills, solving puzzles, or having meaningful conversations can help keep the mind sharp. And what many overlook is that physical exercise is just as important. Light activity like walking or gentle yoga improves blood circulation to the brain, preserving memory and cognitive function. Another critical factor is social interaction. Loneliness and isolation can quickly drain mental energy. Just having someone to talk to, laugh with, or share thoughts with helps the brain stay active and alert. People who maintain regular social connections often have better memory and are at lower risk of cognitive decline. Diet also plays a key role. The brain thrives on omega-3s, antioxidants, and vitamins found in leafy greens, berries, nuts, and fish. On the other hand, consuming too much sugar, processed food, and saturated fat can inflame the brain and increase the risk of memory loss over time. Taking care of your brain is taking care of your entire body, and it all starts with the daily choices you make. If there's one thing you should remember today, it's this. Cognitive decline is not inevitable. By staying active, keeping your mind engaged, staying socially connected, and eating wisely, you can preserve your clarity and independence well into old age. Take a moment now to reflect on everything we've covered: heart health, fall prevention, respiratory illness, stroke, and cognitive decline. These are the 5 leading causes of death after age 75, but the important truth is they are largely preventable. Many people don't realize they can take control of their health until it's too late. But not you. You're still here reading this, which means you've already begun to take action. Small changes made daily can add up to many more years of healthy, independent, and fulfilling living. So take a look at your current habits. Could you walk a bit more, drink more water, eat more greens, call your loved ones more often? Even one small change can make a big difference. At this age, your health is your greatest asset. The more carefully you care for it, the more you preserve what matters most: your independence, time with loved ones, and the joy of living without fear of illness. Number 6. Diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is one of the most dangerous yet silent diseases affecting people over the age of 60. At this stage of life, the body no longer processes blood sugar as efficiently as it once did, and even a slight imbalance can lead to serious consequences. What makes this condition particularly frightening is not its dramatic onset, but the quiet way it erodes health day by day, impacting the heart, eyes, kidneys, nerves, and one's ability to care for oneself independently. Many older adults only discover they have diabetes after complications have already begun. A slow healing wound on the foot, a brief episode of blurred vision, or unexplained numbness in the hands or feet. These can all be the body's subtle warnings that blood sugar has crossed a dangerous threshold. But because these symptoms appear gradually, they're often mistaken for normal signs of aging and ignored. I once knew a man named Walter, 75 years old, who loved gardening. He noticed his limbs growing weaker and felt unusually tired after tending to his plants, but thought little of it. It wasn't until a minor infection on his foot wouldn't heal that he sought medical attention, only to find out he had been living with undiagnosed diabetes for quite some time. The unfortunate truth is that had he been diagnosed earlier, simple changes in diet and physical activity could have spared him the long-term complications he later endured. Diabetes in old age is not a death sentence, if caught early and managed properly. Eating a healthy diet rich in vegetables, reducing refined carbs, limiting sugar and unhealthy fats are some of the simplest yet most effective ways to control blood sugar. Regular movement, even just gentle daily walks, improves the body's insulin sensitivity. Most importantly, routine health checkups are crucial to detect the disease in its earliest stages, when treatment is still straightforward and highly effective. The greatest danger of diabetes isn't the diagnosis, it's complacency. At age 60, 70, or even 80. The key is not whether you already have the disease, but what you're doing to prevent or manage it. Don't wait until your body cries out for help. Take action while you still have choices, because your health, independence, and quality of life in the years ahead depend on it. If you found this message helpful, feel free to leave a comment or stay tuned for more content as we continue this journey together toward a healthier, more meaningful life. If you're still watching and found this content helpful, please leave a comment with the number 6 below to let us know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos on health and quality living in older age. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you in the next video.